Just ordered a glass of milk for funsies. So I feel like it would be a pretty quick read, but I'm not looking for a quick read. I'm looking for a 5-star read. This book is not for everyone. Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be reading books and stopping once I get a 5-star book. So this year I have definitely been pretty picky with my 5-star reads. I want to say so far this year I've only handed out like a handful of 5-star reads. Like, not that I've been intentionally picky, I just like haven't been reading 5-star books. Like, I've definitely had a lot of 4 stars and quite a few 3 stars, but it just hasn't been like a 5-star year for me, and that's okay. So I am planning on filming this video until I can get a 5-star book. So the first book that I'm going to be reading for this video is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. I started this last night actually, and I'm not super far into it. I think I'm only like 25% into it. It's low-key really long, but so far I am enjoying it for the most part. I want to see how many 5-star reads I've had this year because it's gonna bother me if I don't. Okay, so far this year I have had 3 5-star reads, and one of them, honestly, I don't even know if it's a 5-star anymore. And I've had 3 5-star reads and I've read 80 books. The math's not mathin'. So that's what I'm gonna attempt with this video, to find my next 5-star read. So like I said, the first book that I'm starting this video with is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. This is a sports romance. It's like hockey, it's reverse harem. So I'm interested to see. I'm not super far into it. I started last night, but I'm only about 25-ish% of the way into it. So far I'm enjoying it, but earlier I read a scene and it was like kind of cringe, so I just like feel like this early it's not gonna be a 5-star, but we're just gonna keep going. We're starting with this one because it's the beginning of the month and already we're just starting off on an okay note. So we'll see, maybe I'll start to like it a little bit better the more I read of it. So I will obviously keep you guys updated on my thought on it and what I decide if I like it or not. So for now, that's gonna be it for this update, and then I'll update you guys again later. Hello. Okay, so it has been a few days since I entered this video, but I have finished my first book for this video, and unfortunately I have come to report that we are starting off on a very bad note for this video, because the first book that I read was Pucking Around by Emily Rath, and I have decided to give this 1 star. So this book was absolutely just not for me. It was a hockey sports romance reverse harem, and it followed our main girl Rachel and her 3 guys. It was Jake, Caleb, and Mars, and Jake and Mars were hockey players, and Caleb was the assistant equipment manager, and Rachel was the doctor for the team. So I gave this book 1 star because first of all, it was absolutely too long. It was like 700 pages and it like did not need to be 700 pages. Like, it just drug and like just was so long, and there were so many plot holes, and I just like did not like that. The fact that our main guy characters kept drinking milk just by itself, like plain, with nothing like with it, just like milk, just ordered a glass of milk for funsies, like what's going on? And then Rachel kept calling Jake Angel instead of like Jake calling Rachel Angel, and I just felt like that was kind of weird. I didn't really like love that, you know, so not my favorite thing ever. Also, Caleb, instead of calling him Cal, they kept calling him K, so like anytime they referred to him it was like K-A-Y, and I was like, okay, why? But that's besides the point. And so overall, this just wasn't a book for me. Like, I have seen a lot of people saying that they absolutely love this book and that it is just so good. And like, it did have a lot of spice in it. Like, I would definitely say that it was pretty spicy, and like the like spice scenes were like written well for the most part, but just everything else going on like around just like was like weird and like not good. So 1 star for that book. And now we are going to be moving on to the next book for this video. This book is one that I have actually already started, and I do have really high hope for this book. I have seen some people say that the first book was better and that the second one just doesn't like live up to the first one and that it sounds good. But that book is Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. So this is the next book that I'm going to focus on for this video. So I did actually already start this at the end of April, and so it's May 5th right now. So it's been a few days since I like started this and picked this up, but I am currently on page 125. So I am hoping that this is going to be a 5-star read. I read Legendborn, absolutely loved it. It was a 5-star read for me, and I am excited to get back into this world with these characters and things like that. So I'm really hoping that this is going to be a 5-star. I am annotating it, so it is taking me a little bit longer to read it, but I do plan on hopefully reading a lot of it over the next few days and hopefully maybe finishing it. So yeah, hopefully this one will be a 5-star for me, and I'm going to get to reading this one. Hello. So I am still in my quest to find a 5-star read. However, I have not necessarily put Bloodmarked on hold, but I have not finished this yet. I have since finished a book between Bloodmarked since the last time I updated you. So I am still currently in the middle of Bloodmarked, and I still don't know what my rating for this is going to be. I'm just kind of like trying to figure it out as I go, but hopefully I am going to finish this soon. But I did want to talk about the book that I did finish. It was like a read in one day type deal, and I actually just finished it like probably like 5 minutes ago now, and it was Call Me Crazy by Melanie Harlow. And unfortunately this one was not a 5-star read, but it was still really good. I'm giving it 4 stars. It is a small town childhood enemies slash rivals kind of two lovers, and basically we are following Bianca, who is a interior designer, and we are following Enzo, who is trying to get his company, like his father's company, passed down to him. And so in order for him to do that, he needs to be married and settled down with like a wife, and Bianca basically wants a baby. So she has decided to ask Enzo to marry her so that way she can get a baby and he can get a wife so he can get the company, because Enzo has always wanted to be a father. And so basically it's them dealing with this fake marriage and actually like falling in love in the process. And definitely there are some trigger warnings for infertility and things like that, and like trouble conceiving and things like that. So definitely if you are sensitive to those subjects, then I don't think that I would recommend this book for you. But overall I did really enjoy it. Still a 4-star read. Haven't quite met that 5-star mark yet, but I am feeling a little bit more hopeful, especially considering the first book that we read in this video was a 1-star book, and so now we're at a 4-star book. So love that. Also, Bloodmarked does have the potential to be a 5-star. I'm just not sure if it will be or not yet. It's still just missing that something that I'm looking for, I feel like, but I do still have like 200 pages left. So by the end of it, it could be a 5-star read, and then we would only have read like 3 books for this video, and then that would be well and dandy. But if not, I do have a few more options that I am hoping to read that could also be 5-star reads. But for now, we're going to leave it there, and I will probably update again once I finish Bloodmarked, and I will let you know my rating for that and if it's a 5-star read. Hello. So I was thinking that I was going to be able to come on here and say that I found a 5-star read, but unfortunately that is not the case. I have finished Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn, and I'm deciding to give this a 4.5 stars. I wanted this to be a 5-star so bad, but there was just something missing, and I can't put my finger on what exactly it was, but it did not just do it for me the way that Legendborn did. And so I just felt like there was a little something missing, and like I said, I couldn't put my finger on it, but there at the end I was like, okay, maybe this will be a 5-star, like because of some things that started happening and some things that started going down. But after just like finishing it and reflecting on it, I just felt like 4.5 is a better rating for me, so that's what I'm gonna go with. But now that I've finished this, I am going to move on to the next book that I'm hoping is going to be a 5-star, and that is the Black Flamingo by Dean Otta. I've heard absolutely amazing things about this book. I've had it on my shelves for quite a while now, and I have heard that this is a 5-star book, so I am super excited to read it, and hopefully I love it. And yeah, so that is going to be my update for now. I will update you guys again another time. Hello. So I have just finished another book for this video, and unfortunately again not quite a 5-star. So I just finished the Black Flamingo by Dean Otta, and This was so good. It is a very like powerful story about a Black gay teen discovering himself and his identity, and it follows him from birth to college age, and when he gets to college, him discovering drag and his identity within that, and how he is mixed race, but he feels too white for Black people but too Black for white people, and just like not gay enough. It was like honestly written so well, written so beautifully, but I have decided to give this 4 stars. I overall enjoyed this a lot, and I definitely would recommend this. And yeah, it's written in verse, so it was a very quick read. It's like 400 pages, but it's written in verse, so all of it's like super short. Like took like maybe like 2 hours to read this book, but I was hoping that this was going to be a 5-star, but overall I enjoyed this and definitely would recommend picking this up if you have not read it. The next book that I think I'm going to pick up is Coach by Devney Perry, and this is a single dad sports romance. Well, okay, I don't want to say sports romance because he is the coach of the football team, but I believe it's second chance romance, single dad, small town maybe, so we'll see. I love Devney Perry. She is like an autobiography author for me. I absolutely love her work, so I'm super excited to read this. I have read her Indigo Ridge series and absolutely loved it, and I want to say I gave the first one 5 stars, so, and I think this is the start of a new series, so I have really high hopes for this one, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a 5-star. But we'll see. I think I'm going to start it right now actually, and that's gonna be it for now, and I'll update you guys probably once I'm finished with this. Hello. So I wanted to come on here and update that I have finished another book. So I just finished Coach by Devney Perry, and I've decided to give this 4 stars. So I really enjoyed this, but there were like a few plot things that didn't really like make sense to me, like the whole ex-boyfriend thing. Like we didn't really get into that very much for him to play like such a huge part, I guess technically, in like the ending, but also like it wasn't like that big of a part, if that makes sense. I don't know, but overall I did really enjoy this. I am hoping that there are going to be more books in this series. I think there will be, because it's called like the Treasure State Wildcats, so I'm thinking there will be another book or 2 in the series, but either way I enjoyed it. So no 5-star yet, but now that I finished this, I'm going to move on to what hopefully will be a 5-star. So I've heard absolutely phenomenal things about this book and the second book in the series, and that is Mile High by Liz Ford. I've heard that this is a 5-star book, so I'm hoping that this is a 5-star book for me. Like I promise y'all that I'm not super picky like that. Like this video is making it seem like I'm like the most picky reader, but like I really am not picky like that. But I just feel like I haven't been reading like a whole lot of 5-star books lately, which is why I wanted to do this video, so that way I could find a 5-star book. And so I'm hoping if this one is not a 5-star, then the next book that I'm planning on picking up will be a 5-star. So fingers crossed for this one. I have high hopes for this book being a 5-star, so hopefully it will be. But I'm going to start this book and I will update you guys later once I have an update. Hello. So we are still on the search for a 5-star read. So I have finished Mile High by Liz Ford, and I was teetering back and forth on whether I wanted to give this a 4.5 or a 4.75, and I've decided to go with a 4.5. I really enjoyed this story. It was so good. It's about a flight attendant named Stevie and a professional hockey player named Xanders, and this book was just so good. It definitely dealt a lot and talked a lot about mental health and things like that, and like body image and how things can be portrayed in the media. And overall this book just like will forever, I feel like, be a comfort read for me. Like I definitely do see myself rereading this book. I did feel like I related to Stevie a lot, and I really enjoyed this book. I did not annotate it, but I am regretting that, so I definitely will see myself rereading this and annotating it eventually. But I do plan on reading it the next book in this series, and I absolutely loved it. I feel like everyone says that the second book is even better than this one, so if this one is already like super high rating for me, then I can only imagine what the next one is going to be like. So super excited for that. But now that I am finished with this, I am, like I said, still in the search for my 5-star read. And so I have a few options that I'm thinking of picking up now to possibly read. So my first option, so I didn't really want to read another romance book. I kind of wanted to switch it up a bit. So I was thinking that I might pick up Force by Dawn Winslow. And this is a mystery thriller following a dirty cop. However, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this book. Like, I got this book from like an old coworker, and I don't know if this is like my kind of vibe, but I'm down to try it and see. And if I don't like it, then I can always just DNF it and then like obviously get rid of it, because I don't want to keep books that I don't love. And then the next option is The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. This one is fairly short, so I feel like it would be a pretty quick read, but I'm not looking for a quick read. I'm looking for a 5-star read. So I don't know. I really enjoyed the premise of this, but I haven't been hearing like a lot about this book, and what I have heard hasn't been like amazing. Like, it's been like it's only okay. So I don't know, but I could love it because, like I said, I am still in my like mystery thriller journey. So I'm still trying to figure out what kind of stories I like and which ones I don't. So this is an option. And then I know I said that I wanted to kind of go away from romance, since the last two books that I read were romance, but I have Magnolia Park, and I've heard that you either love this book or you hate this book. So I don't know which way I would be leaning for this book. I want to like this book. I want to like it a lot, but we'll see. I'll just have to read it and find out if I like it or not. But as of right now, I think I'm kind of leaning toward The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. I, for some reason, just am feeling drawn to this. I guess because the cover, I don't know, I feel like the cover is really like calling to me right now. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pick this up. I thought I was gonna pick up The Force. I had kind of had my mind made up on that one, but now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think I'm going to go with The Only Survivors and see if I like this book. So on to our next read. Hello. So it has been like 2 weeks since I updated this vlog, and I promise that I'm not like, I haven't forgotten about you. Like, I'm still on that journey to find a 5-star book. And the last book that I talked about was The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda, and I have decided to give this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed this book. It was definitely not what I was expecting. Like, the ending definitely took me by surprise. I was not expecting what actually happened to have been what happened on the night of the crash, and that reveal was pretty surprising to me. So overall, I thought this was a pretty good mystery thriller, especially like for what it was. And it's definitely, if you're looking for like a beachy themed mystery thriller, then I definitely would recommend this, because it was, I feel like it's a good summary like read if you are someone who does gravitate more towards this genre. So overall, 4 stars. Still not a 5-star, but we're working on it. The next book that I think I'm gonna pick up for this video is Winter in Paradise by Elin Hilderbrand. I have heard very, very good things about Elin Hilderbrand, so I'm hoping that this could be a 5-star read. I'm saying that about everything, but at this point, like, I just don't know. Like, at this point, I don't even know what could be a 5-star read for me, because so far this has been very challenging, this video, and it's making me feel like I'm either 1, very picky, or 2, I'm just not reading any like super amazing 5-star worthy books. So I don't know what's going on there, but we're gonna try this one and see, and maybe this will be the one. Hello. So I've come back to report in, and unfortunately still no 5-star book. Like, honestly, at this point, it's like, am I ever going to rate anything 5 stars? I don't know, because I just finished Winter in Paradise by Elin Hilderbrand, and I decided to give this 4 stars. I really enjoyed this, but it just like wasn't a 5-star for me. I don't know, but overall this was really good. This follows this woman named Irene, and she gets a phone call one night that her husband has been killed in a helicopter crash in the Virgin Islands, and she had no idea that her husband was even island in the Virgin Islands. So her and her 2 sons pack up to go down to the Virgin Islands, where they find out that he has been living this completely secret life there, and they're basically trying to unravel his secrets and find out what exactly was going on. And I really enjoyed this. It's a pretty short book, so I mean, it's like right at 300 pages. I think it's like 310 pages, but it was a pretty quick read for the most part, and I really enjoyed myself reading this, but it just didn't give me that like 5-star feeling. So unfortunately, we are going to be moving on to the next book. So the next book is The Force by Dawn Winslow, and I'm gonna be so completely honest, I do not have high hopes for this book. I do not, because I just feel like this is not a book for me, but I'm gonna try it and see, and I am giving myself some grace and am going to allow myself to DNF it if I do not like it. So we're gonna try. It could be the best book that I've ever read, and it could be like future 5-star read, future favorite book of all time. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a try and see if this is something that I might like, even though I feel like just looking at it and, you know, thinking about it, I feel like it might not be like my cup of tea, but I won't ever know unless I try. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm going to start this, and I will let you guys know if it's a 5-star book for me. Hello, so I'm back on my quest for a 5-star read, and I did just want to hop on in here and say that 15 minutes later, I've decided to DNF Force. So this, I made to page 29 in this, and one thing about me is I do not like when white authors use the N-word in their book. I don't care if you're like trying to like really like get in there with the scene and like try to make it like realistic. It just like, it doesn't sit right with me. So this is a no for me, and especially considering I feel like this book is pretty recent. Like this book was written in, let's see, 2017. So, and especially considering like they mentioned like the Black Lives Matter movement and everything in this, I just like, no, it's no. Also like the main character, I don't know, he just seemed like very offensive to me. Like this whole book, the whole 29 pages that I read just felt like offensive. So I have decided to DNF this book. So we're gonna move on in our quest to find a 5-star read. So I am thinking either The Serpent and the Wings of the Night or Magnolia Parks, because I have very high hopes for both of those. And with, okay, so with Magnolia Parks, I've heard you either absolutely love it or you absolutely hate it. So I'm interested to see my thoughts on that one. And then I do feel like The Serpent and the Wings of the Night could possibly be a 5-star book, so we'll see. I'm not starting anything else tonight. I'm going to wait until in the morning to start something new, but whatever I do decide, I will let you guys know. Hello. So I've come to report back that I have finally found a 5-star read. It has only taken me a month. When I tell you, I literally started this video on May 1st and I found my 5-star read on May 31st. Like, it has literally taken me a month. And for that 5-star read, Magnolia Parks. I loved this book. This book is so good, but this book is not for everyone. This book features a very toxic relationship between Magnolia and BJ, and you can tell how much they love each other, how much Magnolia loves BJ, how much BJ loves Magnolia, but they continue to self-sabotage and sabotage any hopes of reconciling and fixing their relationship. And it is literally just so good. The quote and this are absolutely just some of the best quotes I've ever read, and I loved this book so much, and I would definitely recommend this to somebody, but not everybody. So 5 stars, 10 out of 10. If you have not read this book, I definitely recommend reading it. It gives Gossip Girl but in London, and just so good. But now that I have found my 5-star read, we can finally end this video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. If you want to see more content from me, I will have all of my social medias linked down in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.